Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and I must admit this was not a video I was expecting to make today, but as I predicted a few days ago, Jack Nicholls has been sacked for inappropriate behaviour. Let's go to the article now from The Guardian and see what it says. Motor racing commentator sacked after complaints of inappropriate behaviour. Jack Nicholls, who provides F1 coverage for Netflix and the BBC, lost his job working for the electric Formula E series. A commentator on the hit Netflix show Formula 1 Drive to Survive has been sacked from his job with a rival racing championship after complaints of inappropriate behaviour towards women. Jack Nicholls, who also provides Formula 1 coverage for the BBC, lost his job working for the Formula E championship after an external investigation by an employment specialist. A spokesman for the Electric Racing Championship said, Formula E can confirm that the investigation was carried out in response to complaints of inappropriate behaviour received about Jack Nicholls. Following this investigation, Jack Nicholls' contract to provide race commentary was terminated. Nicholls said, although disappointed with the decision, I respect it and accept why it was taken. I want to take full responsibility for what I did and apologise unreservedly for a couple of isolated incidents that has made those concerned feel uncomfortable. I never meant any harm and I am committed to making amends and to be more mindful of my behaviour in future. Sources with knowledge of the investigation said it was launched after a formal complaint in March and uncovered allegations of inappropriate touching made by 3 individuals, one of whom had been in a relationship with Nicholls. During the inquiry, Nicholls was not allowed to travel to Formula E circuits around the world, instead providing his commentary on races remotely from a base in London. Which means when he was doing his WTF1 work, everyone must have known what was going on and he was under investigation. That's why he was working which looked like a backdrop of an office. Nicholls was sacked last week after the external employment specialist reported its findings to Formula E bosses. The commentator has been heavily involved in the electric racing series since it was launched in 2014, and his voice has been heard around the world on coverage of the sport. Nicholls' departure was confirmed before this weekend's race weekend in Jakarta, although Formula E did not initially explain why he had departed the competition at short notice. He has been replaced by the veteran commentator Ben Edwards for the remaining 7 races of the season. As well as working for Formula E, Nicholls has covered every Formula 1 race since 2016 for BBC Radio 5 Live. The commentary was regularly featured in Drive to Survive, which has introduced Formula 1 to a new, younger audience and made Nicholls' voice recognisable to millions of people around the world. Although Nicholls has not been investigated by the BBC, he stepped aside from its coverage of last weekend's Formula 1 Monaco Grand Prix as a result of Formula E's findings. The BBC contracts out its Formula 1 coverage to the production company IMG, which does continue to employ Nicholls. Wow. So there you go, everyone. Jack Nicholls sacked from his job for inappropriate behaviour. As everyone knows, I make quite a few sexist comments and jokes on this channel, but, you know, there is a line, and it looks like Jack, unfortunately, has crossed that line. Yes. We just got a little tweet here I want to show to you. It says, breaking, BBC F1's commentator Jack Nicholls has been sacked from his Formula E role for an alleged inappropriate behaviour. One of the complainants is understood to be a younger member of staff who was in a relationship with Nicholls. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. So, as I said the other day, there's only a few reasons why you get immediately sacked from something, and that is one of the reasons. But that isn't the reason I wanted. I was hoping it was the other reason, which is due to some change of your own personal circumstances causes you to have to step down. But no, unfortunately, not. So there you go. Jack Nicholls has gone. Now, of course, I would have thought, because I can't see WTF1 keeping his services, that they have now sacked him as well, so he won't be on WTF1 anymore. So once again, WTF1 have now lost another member of their original 5 lineup. It's now down to Hannah, Andre Harrison, and the website editor whose name I can never remember because she's not featured very much. Is it Louise? I can't remember. Anyway, it's down to those 3 now from the original 5 that have now left from WTF1. But the thing that concerns me the most is the fact that this was in March, and Jack Nicholls was making videos for WTF1 recently. They must have surely known there was an investigation going on with him. They've got staff members at WTF1, including one called Hannah Atkinson. If this is what he was doing, she's just never been put in a position where she would have been close to Jack Nicholls. Now, I can't say any more because it looked like Jack Nicholls was completely separate from the rest of the group, because when you saw them in some of their videos, Jack Nicholls was not there. So maybe that's why he wasn't there. Maybe he wasn't allowed to be with the rest of the group. But I still think it's a very dodgy decision for WTF1 to have been employing someone who's under investigation for inappropriate behaviour. I'm sorry, I think that's wrong. They should not have done that whatsoever. Once the investigation is over, then they can decide what they want to do. But they shouldn't be employing someone who's under investigation. They must have known he was under. They must have done, and yet they still employed him. And he did the internet's best reactions video. That was when the season had started, which was gone past March, and that's when. So the investigation was ongoing then. So they must have known about it. I'm sorry, that's just not on. That's just not on. But anyway, there you go. Jack Nicholls has left the building. He's done a Philip Schofield. It's just getting ridiculous now, isn't it? It really is getting ridiculous. Now, I'm not going to say too much about that. Whatever you read about it, you do not know the circumstances. I've got to say, it seems like Jack liked to get his willy out and possibly flash it. That's my opinion. That's just purely my opinion. It looks like, that's what he liked to do, old Jack. And unfortunately, yeah, you can't do that in these days. I mean, back in the 80s, we used to do that all the time. That one batted an eyelid. But these days, unfortunately, you can't do it and get away. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this. It's more slime, it's more sleaze, unfortunately. But yeah, Jack Nicholls, he is gone. I'm 100% sure he's also gone from WTF1 because they already had a new voiceover man doing it their last video. So they're not going to employ someone who's done that, are they? Not now. Maybe if he can redeem himself, which he seems to be wanting to do in the future, then maybe they'll bring him back. But at the moment, there's just no way that they're going to employ the services of Jack Nicholls. So yeah, not only has he left because of inappropriate, it's left WTF1 in an even sorrier state of affairs. It's just, oh my God, it's just, what is going on over there? Ever since Matt and Tommy have left, the whole thing just seems to be falling apart, absolutely falling apart. And I have to say that WTF1 have to be made accountable. They should not have been having Jack Nicholls make videos for them while he was under an investigation. That is just crazy, absolutely crazy. Guilty or innocent doesn't make any difference. Okay, if you're under an investigation, you shouldn't be letting people get into a situation where they could be meeting with other people that could also bring further complaints if that's what he's like. I don't know what he's like. I don't know when, but if it was one incident, fair enough. But this looks like it was 3 incidents. So he's obviously a serial. Whatever he does, he doesn't just do it once. He's done it 3 times. So I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. Anyway, let me know in the comments. I'm very sad to make this video. I don't get it. I don't get it. Just, stop it now. Stop it. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about this news about Jack. Unfortunately, when this occurs, mud sticks for a very long time. Jack Nicholls, unfortunately, he won't be possibly seen again on any kind of broadcasting platform because you basically get a black mark on your CV, your record, and it's my sad duty to inform you that that's it for Jack Nicholls. He won't be on Drive to Survive anymore. He won't be on WTF1 anymore. He won't be doing the Formula E coverage because he's been sacked from it. There's not a lot that Jack Nicholls will be doing. Obviously, he will be able to get work in the future, but it probably won't be in broadcasting, unfortunately. But that's the way it goes. So yeah, my sad duty. Someone just linked this to me a little while ago, and I was like, oh no. And one thing is, I hate being proved right. I love it when I'm proved wrong. That's what does it for me. But you know, I just had a niggling feeling that the speed that he was sacked, that it was something like this, and unfortunately, it is. It's just crazy. It's a crazy world we live in right now. Because as I say, we got no idea whether this was serious allegations or, you know, whether it was just he was just mucking around. Who knows? In this day and age, who knows? But there's the news right there for you. Jack Nicholls has been sacked, and unfortunately, he won't be back. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. Hopefully we can get back to some comedy videos in the future. But yeah, thanks everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video.